Currently, 82% of microbusinesses operate under the assumption that artificial intelligence lacks a practical application for their daily operations. This data visualization illustrates the divide. On the left, 82% represents a stagnant majority. On the right, 8.8% of small and medium businesses have integrated algorithmic tools into formal production. These adopters report reclaiming 20 hours a month and cutting expenses by up to $2,000, yielding first-year returns between 150 and 250%. Watch the timeline collapse. Small business administration data shows the historical technology adoption gap between small firms and large corporations is closing. Small businesses now trail enterprise-level integration by only about 12 months. This shift removes the requirement to raise massive capital or hire a 50-person team to achieve scale. A single operator can now execute at the capacity of a mid-sized firm. This shift relies on a concept called output-headcount decoupling. Integrating algorithmic tools functions as a force multiplier, severing the traditional link between production volume and total employee headcount. We're going to deconstruct the technology stack and operational data of a hyper-scaled 1 to 5 person business operating at enterprise capacity in 2026. We will break down the measurable returns in customer service and marketing, examine the necessary software ecosystem, and detail the implementation steps required to avoid costly failures. Achieving enterprise-level output without enterprise-level hiring is a mathematical reality proven by current adoption metrics. Customer support is the primary entry point for this leverage. 64% of small businesses using automation deploy it here first, establishing 24/7 issue resolution without expanding human staff. This ROI ledger illustrates the financial impact. A financial firm deploying generative AI for routine inquiries recorded an 18% increase in customer satisfaction, or CSAT. This efficiency drove a 250% return on investment. Marketing departments are showing very similar gains. Algorithms allow small teams to execute personalization at scale, dynamically tailoring campaigns to audience segments based on browsing behavior and purchase history. Notice the ledger update to reflect a dropping customer acquisition cost, or CAC. One marketing agency used predictive lead scoring, reducing their CAC from $150 to $100 per acquired client. That same agency applied generative writing tools to their drafting process. The ledger updates a final time as their monthly content output doubled from 80 to 160 articles with zero additional hiring. These metrics demonstrate a structural advantage. By simultaneously lowering acquisition costs and expanding top-of-funnel reach, automation breaks the traditional bottleneck of resource-constrained growth. Deploying this level of capability can be achieved without hiring developers or funding a custom $100,000 software build. The most accessible entry point is through embedded ecosystems. Platforms businesses already use, like Zoom with its AI companion, include native features for meeting transcription, synthesis, and document generation at no extra cost. This contrasts with specialized SaaS, or software as a service. These are targeted cloud-based applications like QuickBooks for automated accounting or Surfer SEO for search engine discoverability, providing deep functionality for specific operational needs. Look at this one-person organizational chart. Where a traditional firm places human department heads for administration, marketing, and finance, a solopreneur substitutes specific software tools. Each application plugs directly into a single central operator. For specific needs, founders utilize a practice called vibe coding by writing natural language prompts into foundational models. Non-technical operators develop custom minimum viable products, functional applications built to test a concept, in hours rather than months. Modern scaling relies on the curation and activation of capabilities already latent within the existing software stack. The current landscape of task automation is transitioning toward a more autonomous model, agentic AI. The core distinction is autonomy. An assistant requires a human prompt to execute an isolated task. An agent can reason, plan, and orchestrate multi-step processes to achieve a high-level goal. If given the directive to increase sales by 15%, an agentic system can analyze historical data, identify underperforming products, generate advertising copy, deploy the campaign across networks, and dynamically reallocate the budget based on real-time performance. Entrepreneurs like Mark Cuban predict that these autonomous systems will operate throughout the small business sector, making the ability to build and manage digital agents a non-negotiable operational skill. Future growth for small businesses relies on a founder's capacity to direct autonomous digital agents, just as a CEO manages a highly capable executive team. Despite high potential returns, many technology investments fail to yield a measurable benefit for the adopting business. These failures often stem from the implementation trap. A business purchases the software but fails to integrate it into daily workflows. This bar chart breaks down the root cause. 50% of small firms that acquire algorithmic tools invest $0 in employee training or process change, a sharp contrast to the consistent training investments made by large enterprises. Compounding this is the challenge of data readiness. Feeding siloed or poor quality data into a machine learning model turns the output into an operational liability. There is also strong internal resistance to over-automation. Surveys show that Step 2 requires leveraging existing platforms. Audit your technology stack and activate dormant tools already included in your active subscriptions before purchasing new software. Step 3 is data cleanup. Audit and organize your foundational metrics, customer lists, and financial records to ensure the systems have accurate inputs. Step 4 mandates keeping a human in the loop. Ultimate decision-making authority, particularly regarding hiring and capital allocation, must remain with the human operator. While much of the market remains on the sidelines, you can capture a structural advantage by deploying a single pilot program this week. Algorithmic automation offers the highest leverage point available in modern business. It allows a solo operator to compound their time, decouple their output from their headcount, and redefine the limits of their scale.